Hello and welcome to ELL Plus with me, Vivian.
And me, Neena Bhawon, bringing you news and features from around the boroughs.
That's Hackney and Tower Hamlets, Lewisham and Croydon.
In this week's programme,
why Tower Hamlets is the new right capital of London.
The waiting is over. From this weekend, the Night Overground is here to get you home.
Celebrating Christmas at Ghosh, the multi-faith choir brings a festive atmosphere to campus.
Christmas time for a lot of people brings families and friends to the dinner table. But be careful what you do with the leftovers. Any crumbs could bring you uninvited guests. A new study on rats from the London Assembly suggests that local councils are getting 100 complaints a day. And Tower Hamlets has topped the table. Monika Ghosh has this report. And a warning, anyone with moussophobia, that's the fear of mice and rats, should look away now.
They say you're never more than 6 feet away from a rat in London. In the heart of the East End, that may be more than an urban myth. According to this report for the London Assembly, Tower Hamlets had 30,000 rodent sightings last year, 1 in 6 of all complaints. Susan Hall, author of the report, is worried about the big increase.
It's local authorities that have got to look at their methods of collecting waste and rubbish, because it is the rubbish on the streets, i.e. the food that's all there. It's the way people behave that is so bad. It is keeping food in areas where rats and mice can get at it. It's discarding food in the street that will encourage rat populations. Now that is down to A, Londoners not caring about their environment, B, local authorities not clearing away the rubbish properly. So if we can think of any ways we can help the local councils deal with this, then all of us, including us all as Londoners, should be doing that.
Another solution to the London's rat problem could be coming from Edinburgh University. The Roslin Institute, famous for Dolly the sheep, has created a new gene therapy for rats that makes them only produce male young. That would see a massive drop in numbers of rats across the city.
The research could be groundbreaking, but there are worries about the consequences of genetically modifying any animal. So what do Londoners think about sharing their city with so many rats?
I don't think there's much you can do. Like, if people want to be clean and they want a clean environment, be a clean person. Simple as.
Because I think the authorities doesn't even want to know, and they let them just like carry about because they have the same sort of facilities as human beings. So they're being treated very well, and I think how Tower Hamlets are doing a great job.
Yeah, there's rubbish everywhere. Look, I know, no one cares anymore, innit? No one cares about the community anymore. I walk in the road because I'd rather not walk on the pavement.
I saw some rat next to Prince Regent Station when I dropped my kids to school.
When I see them, like, I went, what?
Rats like these show the effect of rubbish on our streets. But at least Londoners don't have it as bad as Parisians. In the French capital, rats outnumber residents 2 to 1. Monika Ghosh for ELL Plus.
Starting this weekend, the long-awaited night tube is becoming the Night Overground. From December the 15th, the Overground will operate all night on Fridays and Saturdays, running between New Cross Gate and Destell Junction. But in the run-up to Christmas, rail passengers have faced some quite considerable delays and disruptions, with the National Rail coming for some criticism. On top of the major Christmas closure have been announced, starting from the 24th of December up to the 6th of January. Maria Olu is with us to tell us more. We will talk about the new overground service in a moment. But first, tell us more about the problems today.
So there were major signal disruptions in West Croydon this morning. And according to the southern websites, trains are having to slow down, and this will go on for the rest of the day.
So when are these closures exactly going to happen?
London Bridge, Charing Cross and Cannon Street would be closed till the 2nd of January, and trains serving this station would be diverted to Waterloo and Victoria. There won't be any service on the Southern network on Christmas Day and Boxing Day.
So what are commuters going to do?
They are advised to take the underground or replacement buses.
What do you think the impact of the night overground will be?
So the night overground is not only going to help commuters get home at unsociable hours, but is likely to boost businesses as they will really benefit from the extended hours.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you.
A 16-day campaign to highlight the link between violence against women and human rights has just come to an end in Tower Hamlets. The programme of events featuring workshops, stalls, training events concluded on Human Rights Day on December the 10th. Blair Jiang has this report.
Domestic violence is the most commonly reported form of violence against women in Tower Hamlets. And police in the borough deal with over 4,000 calls about domestic violence incidents a year, an average of 10 a day. Start from the council's domestic violence and hate crime team handed out information, joined by the mayor, Joan Biggs, and councillor Esma Bagan. Also at the town hall were volunteers from the White Ribbon Campaign, which raises male awareness about all forms of violence against women. Tackling domestic violence is a key priority in the borough's community safety strategy. Outside the town hall, a rapid response mobile unit was stationed to promote the campaign. The mayor and his team had an update from some of the team who'd been out and about in the borough, spreading the anti-violence message. One team member told the mayor how they used quizzes and games to educate people about what abusive behavior actually means.
I think there's a lot of people that are now reporting, and there's a lot of work that we've been doing as a council to encourage more women in particular to report domestic violence. So yes, there is an increase, but I do think that's a good thing.
This is not a fortnight activity, but a 16-day event. The reason is that back in 1990s, there's 3 young sisters. They were murdered in a period of 16 days. In memory of them, people hold these 16-day activities from generation to generation. Not only the council and the White Ribbon support this anti-violence campaign, but also many partner organizations join in.
It's about people's basic human rights, it's about the status of women in our community. It's about helping to educate people, it's about helping to create a climate of intolerance against violence and other unacceptable behaviour towards women, and it's about creating a borough that's more equal and fair to all of its citizens, because historically there have been quite significant problems. We know there's an issue with domestic abuse and violence, but it's not just about domestic violence, it's also about a whole range of behaviours which belittle the status of women and lead to a culture of unfairness and can go on from generation to generation, so it's about the future as well.
Those 16 days of action included a wide variety of activities. Anything from self-defense classes, sending postcards, and visits to schools, children's centers, and places of worship. Blair Jiang, ELL+.
Stay with us on ELL News. Coming up after the break, a little roundup with our Eastern London Line's editor.
And we'll be finding out what Christmas actually means to the diverse community at Goldsmiths. We'll be back in just a few moments.
Now it is time for a regular roundup of borough news. This week with Sophie Shaw from our sister website Eastern London Lines. Sophie, could you please give us the lead story of this week?
Sure, absolutely. So we've been looking at the fact that police are investigating a £2 million corruption scandal linked to a development in Isle of Dogs, being covered by our reporter Sam Corner. This investigation started 18 months ago, but it's only come to light this weekend when the Sunday Times wrote a report involving a secret filming.
There have been a few crime stories across the borough, some quite unusual.
Yeah, so actually in Deptford, which is just down the road from where we're based, there was a double murder investigation involving a father and a daughter. But also there has been a kidnapping and a man who was horribly beaten for 50 hours in Croydon.
So Sophie, any lighter news stories this week?
Yeah, in Croydon actually, there is the Croydon Met Police are raising money for a couple who had their car stolen, and they'd owned the car for 26 years. So they're looking to raise money through Christmas Jumper Day and hopefully buy them a new replacement.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very good news for Breast Cancer Now. The UK's largest breast cancer charity after it teamed up with Marks & Spencer's to raise money to fund life-saving research. The retailer donated 20% of its pink bra sales to the campaign and has raised over £180,000. Breast cancer survivor and M&S model Heather Shakade shared how important it was for her and the other survivors to take part. The retail giant has been working with Breast Cancer Now for over 15 years and has raised more than £20 million for the charity. These 7 inspirational women survived breast cancer and modelled for a national campaign in October.
Myself and the 6 other women who took part in the Breast Cancer Awareness 2017 campaign, we were able to share our breast cancer journeys. We were able to share our stories with the general public, and I like to think that we inspired the general public to go out and buy a pink bra.
And for more information on breast cancer now, visit breastcancernow.org.
This is the last edition of ELL Plus for this year. Before we go, we have been asking the students here around Goldsmiths what Christmas means to them. Malika Fachrou reports.
To create a Christmassy atmosphere around the campus, the Richard Hogarth building has been covered in lights. Yesterday, the annual carol service took place in the Great Hall, and the members of the multi-faith chaplaincy welcomed the people arriving. Christmas is for most people the favorite time of the year. The delicious sweets makes it an exciting holiday. This Christmas tree is the centerpiece in the Great Hall. But what does Christmas mean to students at one of the most international universities in London?
For me, like, Christmas Day is a bit of overrated. There's like so much anticipation, and then once you've had dinner, it's over.
Christmas also means finding like really creative ways to celebrate, especially because Christmas is like super commercial.
So I grew up in a primarily Muslim family, although I'm atheist. So technically Christmas means nothing to me. But having grown up like on the international scale, I have friends from different religions and different parts of the world. So most of the time when it's Christmas time and we're all together, it's just an opportunity to get together, eat, drink, and have a good time.
I'm Russian, and for me, Christmas in December is something European, something like we have Russian New Year. Like the atmosphere is very, hospital, and it's very family holiday when you gather with your relatives and with your close friends.
Since I come from Puerto Rico, we do a lot of Christmas time, so it's really a good thing to spend time with your family, friends, do some partying.
Whether you're celebrating Christmas or it's just a normal holiday, we're wishing everyone a happy Christmas, a happy New Year, and we're hoping to see you soon. Malika Fachrou for ELL Plus.
that's it for now. Thank you for joining us.
And remember, you can catch up with all the latest news on our website, www.eastlondonlines.co.uk. We'll see you next year.